Talking Podcast. I'm JJ Star.
And I'm Downtown Andy.
Welcome, welcome.
Hey there.
We're here to talk
Yeah, you want to talk?
and bring some civil discourse.
Civil.
To it, bobbing, weaving, and bringing some civil discourse
Shucking
to
and
an
jiving?
otherwise discordant world. How are you?
Oh, it's Monday. I'm exhausted as usual.
No! No!
What?
No more.
What do you mean no
We're
more?
always tired, and it's all we talk about.
Then we need to start recording first thing in the morning.
No, because we're going to be tired first thing in the morning,
No,
too.
no,
I will be.
I'm ready and raring to go.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Nah.
Listen, if the cat is knocking stuff over at 5:57 in the a.m., then yeah, I'm ready to go.
You're ready to go?
Yeah, because
you're ready to fight.
Do you have any idea how forward I look to coffee? Like, I love morning coffee. You love morning coffee. You know what else you love?
I don't love them.
You made them up.
I made them up for the sakes. All our sakes.
All our sakes.
What are we talking about?
The rules, man.
I was going to say, you want to say it, so say it. We talking about the rules. We have 3 rules here in the bubble for the sake of civility. No judgment, nothing personal, and don't be a dick.
That got pretty personal.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, I like it personal.
No,
Yeah.
we don't. See, when we say nothing personal, we mean, like, we're not going to take, like jabs at each other's personal.
I know exactly what it means.
Being personal.
Yeah.
We get into personal topics.
Oh, we get into more than topics.
We get into personal stuff because we're married. That's what we do. We know everything about each other.
Do we?
Don't we?
Don't we? Snooty.
No, because it's because then where's the mystery?
There's still some mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we poop with the door open, but there's still mystery.
They don't need to. Well, actually, no.
I think everybody knows that by now.
Because that is the key to a successful marriage.
We tell people that all the time. Is that what is the key to remaining happy?
It's pooping with the door open.
Pooping with the door open. That's how this bond has formed.
It's not having a barrier between husband and wife while you're trying to have a conversation. It's not allowing yourself to lose any of those precious moments.
It's also not shielding one another from the truth.
The truth is,
you
and I can get pretty stinky.
Yeah. And, it's just life. Life gets stinky sometimes. What do you want to talk about?
I totally forgot the word we were using to describe what I was just doing. What was it? Determined.
Determined. You said you were determined to learn it.
Determination.
Yes. To read your chicken scratch.
Well, okay, so backstory. 5 minutes prior to this, I was sitting down at the piano waiting for you to be finished setting up with whatever you're doing. And I've been kicking myself for the longest time because I completely forgot how to play Cheers. In 2016 or 17, I said, you know what, I am determined. Determined.
Not to be confused with B-termined,
I have loved the theme to Cheers my entire life. I could do without the show, even though I watched it later on, and I'm like, it's
fine and shame.
No, I like Cheers.
It sparked so many good things.
I like Cheers. My whole family was older, my whole family's older than me. I was young when it was still airing, if I was even still alive at that point. And so
you were alive.
Okay, but there was no way for me to appreciate it at that point. There wasn't. I had to watch it later on, but that's beside the point. I like Cheers. I like Ted Danson. But I was determined to learn this song on the piano because I'm like, I don't play piano enough, and 2016, 17, 18 was like a real year for me in the piano.
That was a real year?
That was a real year. I was like, I am going to. I've played guitar for years. Like, there are certain things that I wanted to learn on the piano, and I'm gonna learn them. And I'm not gonna get up until I at least have it written down in a way that I'll understand. And what you see to your right is my chickens. I see that. I think that's the second draft too.
Yeah.
And
it says Cheers right on it.
But I mean, there's no like lines and symbols. It's all just like letters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because that's how I remember. If the letters are connected by like hyphens, then that means they're meant to be played at the same time. And if there's no hyphen between the two, that means you play one note after the other.
Listen, it whatever works.
So I can still remember bits and bobs, especially like when we go out to the pool hall. There's the old, rickety piano there, and I'm just like, I can play a little something, whatever.
Is the piano still there?
Oh yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, Eddie will never get rid of that. But it's bothered me that I forgot that. I forgot all of like Take Me Out to the Ball Game, all like my standards, my go-tos, because I only have like maybe 6 or 7 songs committed to memory like properly for piano. And so everywhere I go, if there would be a piano, it's like, because I could wing it through like a bunch of like Christmas carols, but you know, there's certain songs like I don't even have to look at it. I can just close my eyes and my fingers will know where to go.
I can remember the right hand, the upper hand of Joy to the World, Minuet in C, I think it's C, and Heart and Soul. I can do Heart and Soul. And of course I can do Chopsticks.
The Campbell's Soup theme? Isn't that what that is? I know it's a song, but isn't that like what Campbell's Soup used for the commercials?
No?
Somebody out there help me out. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm fairly certain there was a Campbell's Soup commercial in the 90s that used Heart and Soul as the theme.
I don't remember that.
Maybe it was something else.
Yeah.
That was I don't fucking know.
I wanted to learn Carol of the Bells so badly, but it's hella complicated.
So I can show you that on guitar. That's actually mad easy. Actually, I can show it to you on your ukulele. It's so much fun. It really is.
I'm still I don't know if I'm determined. I might be determined. Like I'm a little below determined. But I'm still thinking I'm going to clean up my flute and see if I remember.
We were
how
talking
to play.
about that. Yeah. Carol of the Bells is one of those ones that like I love the fact that I can play it. It's one of those ones where it's just the thought of doing it is like feels fun to me. And I get that with certain pieces where it's just like I don't care how complicated or how simple this is. I don't care, you know, like it just something about certain pieces of music are fun. Like it's like, ooh, I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, no.
Having nothing to do with once again, having nothing to do with where my brain thought this episode was gonna go.
Where is it going?
Well, I mean, we've kind of segued into a good topic of discussion.
You said you're determined to play Cheers.
I was, that's something I've been thinking about for a while.
Yeah.
But I'm determined. I'm always determined.
I mean, you always figured that specifically. You always figure it out. You always come to it, and you're like, I can't believe I forgot how to play it. But then after like 10 minutes, you've got it down pat.
Well, yeah.
And you do that every time you go to it.
Because when I really want to do something, I will, really want to do it. I will do it.
Well, I'd like to believe that that's true of most people. I'd like to believe that.
No, because
that it's true of most people, that it's like, if you want to do something, why wouldn't you be determined to do it?
Because so many people I know, at least, are so set in their ways and so comfortable just kind of being like, I'll do it later. I'll do it eventually. I'll get to it, you know?
I don't know so much about that because
Maybe they're afraid of succeeding. I don't know.
No, I don't think it's that either. I think more often than not, it's that people actually convince themselves that they can't do it. They're like, oh, I would love to do that, but I can't. Listen, I will never be 5'4".
That's not true.
No. It is true.
You have many tall shoes.
Stocking feet, I will never be 5'4". Okay? But that doesn't mean that I can't reach things.
One of my coworkers today told me that she was afraid of the new trucks because of how tall they were. And I'm just like, listen, you'll never know what it's like, okay? Come in tomorrow wearing heels, and you'll see what the rest of us have to go through getting in the backs of those fucking things.
I can't imagine that any of you have a problem getting into those new trucks.
The new ones, no. The old ones, yes. We all have. Anybody over 5 feet has to crouch.
Well, we're not talking about the old ones.
Well, while we're on the subject, let's talk about the new ones.
No, I don't want to talk about the new ones.
Okay, fine.
We don't need to. Listen, the post office is in debt, and they spend a lot of money on this new stuff.
I was not having no intention of going there.
That's the end of meeting. We're not determined to talk about the post office.
I was made to drive one of the new ones for the first time today, and
you will continue to.
It was an experience.
Yeah. But you had air conditioning. There's your silver lining.
8 fucking years waiting for that one.
Listen, at least you have it.
And I can stand up in the back.
As we just said. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you guys will hear more about that later.
So what do you want to talk about?
What do I want to talk? Well, so I was thinking, and this kind of coincides with determination, because at one point last week I was thinking to myself, we haven't done a lot of interviews. We've really essentially only done one.
Yeah.
We've done one. And I'm driving along and thinking to myself, because I'm trying to make myself think of new and different things that we could talk about, instead of just this continuing conversation of, similar-ish things that we usually get into. And one of the things was like, who would I want to interview? Who would I want on the show?
Living or dead?
Just in general, just like who would I want to sit down and do a Q&A with? You know,
Yeah.
if I have to share a mic with you and give it to the other one to the guest, not that that's a bad. Well,
I was gonna say, I'm like,
listen,
sounds awful.
I'm sure I would love sharing a microphone with you. Try sharing a microphone with Ricky. Ugh. Just PBR and some venereal disease.
Anyway.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Anyway, who? I presume this is where this is going.
No, this is not where it's going at all.
Not where it's going?
That's
okay.
my question to you.
Oh, I don't have an answer for that.
You don't know who you would want to interview?
I wouldn't even begin to imagine who I would want to interview.
I have a growing list.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
Of like pipe dream interviews, like in an ideal world, desert island kind of interviews kind of a thing? Or are you talking about someone that you want to reach out to and interview?
I mean, there's a dozen people I want to reach out to, but there's also a dozen more people who I'm thinking to myself, like, if the opportunity presented itself and we just happened, like, remember when the protests first started happening on the green, and I'm like, just for shits and giggles, we should go on the green, like wearing our That Talking Podcast shirts with microphones and iPads and whatnot, and just be like, what are you guys doing here? And I know that was just kind of half of a joke, but it's like, there's so many podcasters and, people out there that do that no matter where they go, whether it's a convention or this, that, the other thing. Like, they're carrying their gear around, and if they just happen to get, content creators, like, how many times do we do Blood and Ink and you see these roving gangs of kids with selfie sticks and, cameras and whatnot, and they're just like, oh, gotta get this content.
Well, I'm told that they're there, but I typically don't.
Oh, jeez.
I honestly
I think it was the
don't
last
see
one.
them.
I remember these kids, these like 6 foot tall, broccoli heads who were just had, running around with the selfie stick and the cameras and the microphones, and I don't even know what they were filming.
And you want to be them?
No, I'm saying in that same vein, like, if the opportunity presented itself, like, for example, Kineticon happened this weekend. If we happen to be there, I'd say bring the microphones, bring a legal pad, and, whoever we happen to run into, just be like, hey, do you have time for, talk for 5 minutes? We do a local podcast. We'd like to, get your input on some things. And
on what things?
Okay, so going back, if I had known about Kineticon ahead of time, I would have made endeavors to plan to go to that.
Sure.
Because there were quite a few people there I would have liked to have met.
Uh-huh.
And I thought it would be cool if we had the stuff. And, granted, I mean, I understand, like, I don't like the idea of, like, paying for photos and autographs, even though I have. Like, certain people, I would pay the money.
Mm-hmm.
Most people, I don't need a photo. I don't need somebody's. I certainly don't need an autograph. But it occurred to me, it's just like, if we just happen to be there with our stuff, it's like, why couldn't we go up to a voice actor or, influencer or whoever and just be like, you got 5 minutes?
And talk about what?
Them, their career, what they're working on. I mean, think about it. Every time we watch Hot Ones, what is the guest doing? They're plugging whatever they're on. Back when WWE used to have a guest host for Raw every week, what were they doing? They were plugging whatever they had going on at that time. So for the sake of diversifying what we do here, it's like, why not ask somebody a couple of questions? Hey, what do you got going on right now? What are you doing? Oh, we love you because we've known you for this long and because you did this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, that would be fun for me.
Yeah.
I think if it were the right person, it would be fun for you too.
Maybe.
So who are you thinking?
Mm.
You can't think of anybody off the top of your head.
I don't know.
See, prior to doing conventions with you, I never thought things like this were possible, because it's just like when people say to me, like, you didn't watch ECW back in the day? It's like, no, because I didn't know where to find it. If I don't know that conventions or concerts or whatever's going on, it's because it's not like directly in my social feed. It's not being advertised to me in my emails. It's not that I wouldn't want to do these things. It's just a lot of times it's not presented to me. So it passes, and then it's like, fuck, I missed that,
When I first started Love Hard, what I was drawing typically was I was drawing pictures of teddy bears, and I was putting tattoos and piercings on them. Big smiles and everything, and they literally were like teddy bears. When I started branching out and I started doing more paintings, I incorporated my experiences in like the pop punk scene, with my art, and I started turning actual rock stars into teddy bears. And in so doing that, I actually got the musicians on board with it. I would meet them, and I would say, hey, this is this project that I'm working on and everything, this is the point of it. The point is to, spread awareness about, like just alternative lifestyles and body modifications and stuff like that and everything. And, sort of encourage people to be more accepting of people who are different from you. Is this something that you want to be a part of? And most of them were, pretty cool about it. Some of them were extremely tepid, I will say. Like they were just sort of like, ugh, this crazy bitch. Okay, whatever she's talking about, whatever. I guess I'll take a photo. But like, they would let me photograph in detail, like all of their tattoos, their arms, their legs, their chest, their face, and everything like that. And I would paint a portrait of them as a teddy bear in full tattoos and everything like that. And I would include their instruments, which got really crazy when I did a drummer one time. And he had a set from SJC that was, this was in 2015, so it was in honor of the Back to the Future Day. And literally this entire kit was made up to look like the flux capacitor and everything. And I'll show you pictures of that one because that's I'm gonna put some pictures on the screen for this one because that was fucking nuts when I did that.
That set of paintings is probably some of my favorite things that you've done, having no idea who those guys are. But just because of how much work went into and how they're done up, like it's fun.
The hardest part was that at the end of the project I raffled them off.
Yeah, but you still have some of them.
I have one.
Really?
I have one.
I thought you had like 4.
No, I think I've got 1, maybe 2. But like...
Did you get rid of those and I missed out on this?
I got rid of them long before you and I were ever a thing.
I could... Then what teddy bears am I thinking of?
You're thinking of the Care Bears? Those are the only bears
Wait,
that
no,
I
that's
have
right. Okay,
left.
yeah, I do remember you having 2 of them.
But I have, and I got them autographed is the thing. And that's why I was...
All of them?
Yes. And that's why I was raffling them off.
Oh, okay.
And it raised money and everything like that. And we did this big to-do about
Who
it
did
and
you
everything.
raise money for?
Well, part of it was proceeds for my cause, and then the rest went for suicide awareness and self-harm awareness.
Can't argue with that.
Nope. And I'm glad that I have as many pictures as I do. Because those were some of the craziest things I've ever painted in my life. And I think back to when I started that and everything, where I literally would just go to Warped Tour with a binder full of hand-drawn signs that, I don't even remember. I honestly don't even remember what they said. They said something about love hard, and then they had, my emblem on them and everything, and I got them autographed, and then I would take photos of the guys holding the signs.
I've seen those pictures. Okay, yeah.
And it's like, that's literally all I did was I just walked up to people, even if I had to stand in line, and I'd be like, this is my project. Do you want to be a part of it?
Hello, florist. Hold this, please.
And if they were like, yeah, I want to be a part of this, I'd be like, cool, pick a color. Here, autograph this. And I mean, at least I still have the autographs.
That's cool.
I do have the autographs. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, no, that was... I think about that, but like the idea of like interviewing someone is completely foreign to me.
Oh, I love that.
I can have a conversation with someone perfectly fine, but the idea of like asking someone questions about like other than what's going on.
But that's essentially what an interview has become, like, especially in podcast realm nowadays. Like,
see,
a lot
but
of
that's not an interview.
Like a lot of podcasts that I listen to, like when they have guests on, they're just talking to them. They don't have like a series of questions anymore. Like, I frequently daydream. So a lot of times I think to myself, like, okay.
That's cute.
I think to myself, like, if I had 5 minutes with this person, like, would I ask them all the same standard questions that I know they're going to be getting from everybody else? Or am I going to be asking them something that they never, You know, like, because they're people too. It's like they probably want to talk about other things. Like, I really wanted to go to this convention this weekend, but I'm like, okay, this probably is not going to happen. So I started listening to the band of one of the voice actors who I'm a big fan of. And then I thought to myself, I had the opportunity to interview him. I'd be like, okay, so you're going to get all the same, you know, fucking anime questions from everybody all weekend long about the characters you portray and this, that, and the other thing. Tell me about your band. Tell me about your band. Where are you guys playing? What are you guys working on? You know, he and I share an affinity actually for the same acoustic guitars, which is actually really cool. I thought if I ever go to meet him, I'll bring him my guitar and ask him to sign it.
Yeah.
You know, and then we'll just talk about that because it's like, all right, I've watched your shows. I know the answers to every question anybody could possibly ever ask you. So it's like, that's out of the way. But that's just one example. Like, for example, like when we went and interviewed Giovanni, that was largely your idea.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't.
I think it was your idea to go get food.
No, it wasn't.
Sure it was.
No, it wasn't.
I took you. Where did I take you? That place in Ridgefield. What were you getting done that day? We went to that. What do you go to Ridgefield for? What was that thing?
I used to go there to get waxed.
That's what it was. Okay. So we went there that day, and I don't think we had anything else planned. And then one of us was just like, let's go get sandwiches.
Not me. That was all you, baby. You developed a very deep, I'm going to say, ancestral connection with this man.
Actually, wait, no,
and
you're
you
right.
were
You're right.
crazy about his TikTok, so you were like, you know, we should go there one day.
Okay, now you're getting a little outlandish.
No, you weren't. You were so excited about it.
I wanted to go just for the food, but at some point, because I remember emailing him and being like, "Can we do this?"
Yeah.
Okay, and then you'd been like, "Let's do it on this day."
Yeah, because we were both off.
Right.
So we went and we did it and everything. Now, when we were there, I did take the lead because I think you went a little starstruck.
Maybe, actually, no, maybe it was more spontaneous because we only had like the one little clip microphone, right? Or did we do it on the phone?
We had the 2 clip microphones. We were using the Bluetooth
It was
mics.
so long ago. I can't remember now. But anyway, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. This is going to be the start of like, having guests on our podcast. And then that will branch off and then their listeners will listen to our stuff and our listeners will listen to their stuff and whatnot. And I've wanted to do more of that. I've wanted to seek out more, like so many of our friends have been like, yeah, have me on. Like,
and then they all just vanish like a fart in the wind.
Somebody's gotta take it seriously, But like, I would love to go to conventions or outings or whatever and just be like, hey, do you have 5 minutes to talk for, like whatever. I didn't even know the convention circuit was like a thing until maybe 10, 15 years ago. Cause like my friends would go and they do meet and greets. They'd be like, oh, I met so-and-so. Like, well, I didn't know about it. If I had known, I would have planned ahead, or I don't have money for it right now or whatever it is. It's just like, and now it sucks because certain opportunities I don't have anymore because people that I would want to meet are no longer with us. But like I would be just crazy enough to go around with a microphone and a camera at the Hartford Convention Center and be like, please talk to me for 5 minutes, like for my podcast that's streamed in 108 countries.
I think it always hit me weird because for all of the shows that I have been to and then all of the shows that I worked, I never in a million years for some reason could fathom the idea of a meet and greet. Back in my day, you just hung around.
Yeah.
And if you stayed there long enough, eventually the band had to leave, so that's when you met them. But like now, like people are buying, VIP packages and everything to get, like a special, sometimes it's like a little mini set at the beginning of the show, Q&A, pictures, autographs. Sometimes there's merch and everything. And it's
that was going on.
If this was going on, I was completely oblivious to it until I started working them.
I always remember meet and greets being a thing, but just not the same way then as they are now. Like when Blitzkid did their shows and they did the acoustic sets ahead of time. I don't ever remember anybody doing acoustic sets. So good for them because that's a draw right there.
I got a VIP in with a band. I think it was in No.
Like,
It must have been before that. It must have been like 2013 or something like that.
I have a confession to make. So back
No,
in 2000,
it was after that.
back in 2008, I think. So that was my first overnight alone trip to the city because I was going to Gigantor, and I don't think I could. I don't know if I could try if I.
Gigantor, the space age robot.
Yes. No. I don't remember if I couldn't get some people to go with me or if I just wanted to go along or whatever it was. Bottom line, Children of Bodom was coming to town and I wanted to see them.
Mm-hmm.
And they were smack dab in the middle of Gigantor. It was them, High on Fire, In Flames, Megadeth. Oh, who was the last band? Why am I blanking on this? Fuck me. I don't remember. Anyway, but it's Megadeth's headlining tour that they did every year. Mm-hmm. And I really only went for Children of Bodom.
Which is fine.
However, at the time, it's like, okay, yeah, I like a few Megadeth songs. And I was like, meet and greets back then weren't as astronomically expensive as they could tend to be now. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, yeah, fucking I'll get a whatever it is. And hung around, and because I'm not as big a Megadeth fan as I am a Children of Bodom fan, I am scrambling for something for them to sign.
Megadeth?
Yeah. I didn't have any CDs, shirt, nothing. Like I actually went to like a convenience store down the block and bought like one of those stores that sells like the USA American flag, novelties and all that stuff. They happened to have a Megadeth shirt in there.
Yeah.
Probably knew they were in town, so they stocked up. I don't know. And I bought one, so that's what I was wearing. But I'm scrambling trying to find something, and I open my wallet and I put out my expired pharmacy tech license, which I had laminated. Wait, no, it wasn't laminated. I had it laminated after he signed it, and I had Dave sign it. He's like, "You work in a pharmacy?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "That must have been a fun job."
Yeah.
I still have that.
I don't know though. Like I would love, there are people that I would have conversations with. Like I don't know that there are a lot of people that I can think of off the top of my head that I'm like, I want to sit down and ask this person questions.
There's a million people in the world that I want to do that with.
Yeah?
Absolutely. You see me go to Wikipedia like every other minute of every other day.
Yeah.
You see me watching biographies and historical things on television about people and constantly deep diving into, like, I like learning about people, and I've said this so many times, there are so many actors, wrestlers, musicians, whoever, like, where now that I'm older, the person, the actual human being, is way more interesting to me than the character they portray. When enough information becomes available about their personal life to where I'm not focused on what they're doing for the sake of entertainment, it's like I like that person infinitely more now. Like I remember being 12 years old and watching Stephanie McMahon be Stephanie McMahon, and then upon hearing about all the stuff that she's done with like charity work and how she's, helped maintain the business since Vince got out and whatever, like, she's actually a really good person by accounts of many people close to her. And like, that speaks to me because it's like, it's nice to know that this person is not just a character.
Sure.
So I would sit down for the podcast that she has now where she talks to people and does the exact same thing. She just sits and has a conversation with them. I really like listening to that because you learn about people that you admire or were entertained by, whatever it is. I like doing that. And whether it's with celebrities or friends, acquaintances, like whoever, like I like that, and I would do that here if we could get anybody in here.
I don't know. I'm open to it is the thing. Like I'm not determined. I'm not determined to get people in, excuse me. I'm not determined to get people in on this action, but I welcome it.
I'm determined because like I've met my fair share of famous people in my lifetime.
Ditto.
Bands that I've admired and been a fan of. We met Bam at these conventions these last 2 years. I've run into them in the wild. But it's kind of a silly thing to say, but it's like, because we're getting older and, shit happens and like, I want to be able to have these opportunities before I can't. A lot of my favorite celebrities, for no other way of saying it, I don't have that opportunity. They're dead. There's if I didn't get my chance while they're alive, then it's gone. Like, and that sucks because there's a lot of people I would have loved to have 5 minutes with. There's a lot of people I'd love to have 5 seconds with.
All right, let me ask you this. If you had those 5 minutes, and let's say that in those 5 minutes you might be able to get 3 questions in, what would you ask them?
Well, you got to tell me who first.
Anybody.
Why was there so much expired basil in your cupboard?
It must have been on sale.
How tall are you really? How?
Are these all for your dad?
I told you didn't specify. Well, no, I knew I was taller than my dad. No, I was trying to be goofy. I was like, how long does it take you to wipe? I don't know.
I feel like the questions I would ask somebody, regardless of who it was or what like their status is and everything like that, right? I feel like I would probably ask, like, what are you reading right now? What are you binging right now? And like, what is your go-to late night snack? I feel like those would be the things that would pique my interest in somebody.
I would try so hard to think outside the box and think, like, what could I ask them that nobody would think to ask them, that they haven't answered a million times already? Like first off, like, the one thing I really want to know would be, like, what do you like most about what you do?
That's a good question.
Like, what is your favorite aspect? Like, what keeps you in the industry that you're in? What is it? If aside from money, but like, what is it about it that you love the most?
See, I think that's a good question because if you ask anybody that, I feel like the answer is intriguing. And I like that. Like, if you were to ask me that, like, what is your favorite thing about what you do? Like, my answer would be that, like, I get a real kick out of being proud of something. Like, being, like, when I impress myself.
Because regardless of who it is or what it is, it's got to be more, like, one of the most important things to make it more about them. Like, it should be more about them than you doing, the questioning.
Well, yeah.
Because, if the person you're talking to can sense that you're doing it more so for yourself than for, the sake of good content, like, then what's the point, and why even bother,
Sure. Well, I mean, that's just it, is that, like, I feel like it's, it's not supposed to be like a fact-finding. It's not a scavenger hunt.
Yeah, that's what Wikipedia is for.
Yeah.
Like, there's this one dude who conducts interviews with musicians. It's like fact or fiction on Wikipedia. So he just pulls up their Wikipedia. He's like, is this true or false? And then they sit there and they just talk about it. It's like,
that's boring.
Anybody can just fucking go look that up. Like,
that's boring.
Whatever.
I don't know. I would find that mundane if someone were asking me that.
Like,
kind of stuff.
I personally, I like going up to people I admire and being if I have to say one thing that they've heard a million times, it's thank you for your work because of what it means to me. Thank you for continuing to do it because it brought me so much joy at some point in my life. And I'll still do that any chance I get to anybody for any, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
for what you do and what it's meant to my life.
Heart.
We'll be right back.
Are we going somewhere? Nah. But then it's like I in situations like that, I feel I'm not one to feel self-conscious a lot of the time. But I start to feel a little self-conscious in those situations because I feel like if I'm asking something that is atypical, I feel like I might be crossing a line. And I'm sure that that's pure projection, but it's like I don't know. Like when we were at Blood and Ink last year, and Sadie became best friends with Christine Elise, and she was there because of her part in Child's Play and stuff like that, and Sadie went right up to her, and I said right to her, I was like, well, she'd know you anywhere because she watches 90210 with me. And the look on her face made me a little self-conscious because she sort of had this look like, oh, like,
because she played Emily Valentine.
Yeah, but almost sort of like this look on her face was almost kind of like, oh, I was hoping people wouldn't bring up 90210.
You took the role, like, hello.
I'm like, oh God, I felt a little self-conscious. But again, I'm sure it's pure projection. It's not like these people can avoid being known for things.
I mean, geez, I'm not proud of every employment I've ever taken. God.
Well, I mean, tis what it is. But, I was just like, ugh. I'm like, oh, I said it. I'm like, I did the fangirl thing, and I said it.
If this were 20 years ago, I would be starstruck by just about anybody, whether I like them or not. Just because of if I'm in the present, like, if I'm in the presence of somebody famous, now it's different because now it's like we've been at so many conventions where actors and famous people have been around, and it's just like I walked past Jason Mars and I didn't even know it was him.
It's because he's about this big.
And I'm just like, I know what you're in, and I don't care. So it's just like, what's up, shorty? Like, and but again, like 20 years ago, if I had seen that, I'd been like, oh my God, he's there. Like, I gotta ask him 5 questions and fucking get it on all my socials.
I went to see.
Because it's nice not being dead inside.
The Dear and Departed, I think we're opening for, I think it was with Cursive and Alkaline Trio, I think. And I went to go see them in Clifton Park. And we got there early, and we're just sitting in the car bullshitting. And all of a sudden, Dan Smith of LA Ink fame, who is the singer for The Dear and Departed, was like standing behind my car. And I just look in the rearview mirror, and I'm just like, I'm like, oh shit. And I was like, I gotta get his autograph like right now. I'm like, this is weird. And I didn't have anything for him to sign. So scrambling to find something for him to sign, the only thing I had was my ticket to the show, which they took from me at the door. Uh-oh. And I was like, hey, I'm like, can I have it back? And they were like, no. So then.
They took the whole thing?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Right? And I was just like, shit. So I, of course, then found him later on and was like, so funny story. They took my ticket, which is what I had you sign. And he was just like,
he signed it before you went in?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I was like, shit. So he signed a poster for me at that point,
nice.
which was nice. And I was just like, I felt like such a schmuck.
Ugh.
But if I could sit down and talk to him, I don't know what I would ask him. I would just be like, how are you? How is middle age treating you? What are you reading? What are you binging?
What's your midnight snack?
What's your midnight snack? It's probably something.
Who's your favorite Spice Girl?
Very, very, very
oh, man,
bougie.
That would be like a far off in the back of my brain question for anybody. Like, I'd be sitting here with Hugh Laurie, and I'd be like, which was your favorite Spice Girl?
And I'm sure he'd have an answer.
Who do you think his favorite Spice Girl is?
I would.
And it's got to be Hugh Laurie, not House.
No, I know.
Yeah. Okay.
I know who Hugh Laurie is.
Because we all know who House would go for.
Who?
Ginger.
Why?
Wild. Need somebody to get his legs working.
I think Hugh Laurie would pick Mel B because I feel like their personalities would mesh pretty well. I do. Because she's not as wacky as everybody thinks she was.
That is true.
Like, I feel like she got tagged Scary Spice just because she had...
Oh, if you're saying because she's black.
No, because she had big hair and she wore animal print.
I mean, yeah, but
so it's like...
What makes you think she got tagged and she didn't come up with that herself?
I mean, she might have.
Yeah.
I mean...
Can you imagine being a fly on the wall for that conversation? Like, okay, we need names for all of you. Like, go.
Well, they auditioned for that shit.
You mean they didn't just come up with that on their own?
No.
I'm a terrible fan. Damn.
No, they auditioned for that nonsense. Like the Monkees.
It's crazy. Like when I was 10 years old, I was all about that shit, and now I'm like, wanna be what?
Wanna be what?
They still don't. They won't stream that movie anywhere.
It is a shame.
Mm.
It is a shame. Didn't we we watched that though?
No.
Yeah.
No, I have not seen that movie in at least 20 years.
I swear
Nope.
we watched it.
No.
Well, who's your favorite Spice Girl? I want you to say what I think your answer is because I'm pretty sure it's the same as me.
Oh yeah? What do you think?
You first.
Okay, so 10-year-old me, it was Sporty Spice.
Okay, what about now?
Probably Posh or Baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine was always Sporty Spice.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that where you thought I was going?
Yes. I always liked Sporty Spice. I don't know. She just seemed like the only real one. She seemed like she wasn't putting on a character.
Yeah.
You know?
She's just like, I'm just going to roll out of bed.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw on these
track pants and get on with it. Oh, man. What would you ask me if you were to interview me?
What I would ask Sporty Spice.
What would you ask Sporty Spice?
I have no questions for Mel C at this point. No.
Well, what would you ask me if you could interview me right now? I
did that almost 5 years ago, and I won.
Well, I mean, is that it? End of meeting? Like you're done? You're done? You're done asking me questions?
You said at the top that there's still Mystique left.
There is, isn't there?
Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence is still playing her.
We still keep a little mystery.
I don't know why you don't think so.
It didn't look like her.
That was totally her.
I know it was, but it didn't look like her.
Anybody who's seen Days of Future Past, that was definitely Jennifer Lawrence.
It literally, there were shots in her first few on-screen moments in that movie, okay? Her face looked very long. It looked different, and her eyes looked different and everything. So I'm like, maybe it was the makeup, maybe it's the CGI, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. But I'm like, there were moments where I was like, are you sure?
8 hours of scaly blue makeup will do that.
But I'm like, are you sure?
I mean, like, look at Ron Perlman doing Hellboy. Like, that doesn't... It looks like him, but it doesn't, you know?
I've never seen Hellboy.
You must have seen commercials or ads
I know what it looked like.
Seen it in print.
Yeah, but I've never seen the movie.
I'd still like to see fucking... God, why am I blanking on his name? What was his character's name in Sons of Anarchy? Clay. I'd love to see Clay Hellboy.
What?
Clay Morrow.
Yeah.
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
His character.
Yeah.
Be Hellboy.
Isn't he?
I mean... There's bits and bobs that bleed into it, but I mean, it's not really the same person. It's just the same actor. It's not the same person. It's not the same.
My favorite thing that Ron Perlman has ever done is Titan AE.
Real quick, Hellboy had a conscience. I don't think Clay did. And we watched Titan AE, didn't we? You showed it to me.
I'm sure I've made you watch it at some point.
I don't remember any of it.
But I love that movie.
What would you ask Ron Perlman right now?
What would I ask Ron Perlman right now?
We can't talk.
What are you binging? What are you reading?
And what is your fourth question?
And what is your go-to midnight snack? And what was it like? I'm blanking on his name. Oh, and what was it like working with Tommy Flanagan?
Why Tommy Flanagan?
He's my favorite.
Then why would he not be at the top of your list?
Because
why is Tommy Flanagan your favorite? Because he's the only one who didn't die?
He's one of the few who didn't die. There were a few of them who didn't die.
Did you know that Chelsea grin is real?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you know that he's a DJ? He's a club DJ? In the underground scene? It's true.
I never would have
I named a gerbil after that character.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a gerbil named Chibs. I would ask him, what would he name a gerbil?
Chibs or Tommy Flanagan?
Tommy Flanagan.
You wouldn't.
What would he name a gerbil?
What would your gerbil name another gerbil?
Lunch. My gerbils were kind of nasty to each other.
That was good.
Man.
That was good.
I don't know. Like, you want to do interviews.
I'm really bummed because I wanted to go to this convention because so many of my favorite voice actors were all under one roof at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I look at their pages to see where they're going to be next, I never see Connecticut, I never see New York, I never see New Jersey.
Maybe they jump on at the last minute.
Even though they're going to be, I think, in New Jersey relatively soon, but I don't feel like driving that far anyway. But it's like they were right here, they were an hour away, and I missed it. And it sucks because, you know, like, the really cool thing is that, like, there's so many, like, one-offs that all of these people have done that you wouldn't know unless you did the deep dive. And, like, oh, my God, I had no idea they played that role or that character.
Yeah.
Like, I never realized that Dan Green did, like, the second Mewtwo.
I don't know what that is.
Dan Green voiced Mewtwo in the direct-to-video Pokemon movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it wasn't the same guy who did his voice in the first one.
Okay.
Dan Green is also the voice of Yugi.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
The little voice up here.
No, he does both.
Oh,
he does him and the Pharaoh.
Ah.
And then Eric Stewart does Brock and Kaiba.
Gotcha.
And they were both there, and their tables were right next to each other.
Naturally.
And I would have loved to sit down with them for 5 minutes and talk to them about anything.
I don't think you would have gotten 5 minutes at a situation like that, though.
Probably not.
You know, you might have gotten like 60 seconds.
That's enough.
Yeah?
That's enough.
That's enough?
That's sure. Why not? Like, I often wonder, like, if whenever we some way make it to Japan, it's like, there's so many things I want to do. There's so many places I want to go to. I don't think there'd be enough time in, like, one trip to do it all.
No?
No. So many, like, monuments I'd want to visit. So many, like, you know.
Like what?
Well, you and I have talked before about, like, I want to go see the old country. Like, fuck Tokyo. Like, that's where everybody goes.
Yeah,
like,
that's where, I mean, when we talk about going to Japan, like, when you're like, we should just move to Japan, I'm like, well, we'd have to live on, like, a rice paddy.
Well, you just said this morning, you're just like.
But yeah, social media has started, you know, trying to convince me to move to Japan. But then you told me that we would be shunned, and I'm just like, oh.
Well, I mean,
well, then never mind.
Probably depends on where you go. I mean, I don't think it would be easy, you know? I don't know. Talk to Marty Friedman.
Who's Marty Friedman?
He played in Megadeth. He moved to Japan a long time ago.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was he shunned?
At first, probably.
Yeah.
But I think he you know, learned the language. So.
Well, of course we would learn the language.
Plus the Japanese are, like, crazy for American guitar players.
Well, then there you go. You would be.
Yeah, but I'm a nobody.
It doesn't matter. You could tell them you're somebody. Maybe by then you'll be on the top of top of the pops.
I always hear stories about wrestlers going to Japan to make it. Like, everybody in show business somehow, every American in show business somehow makes it when they go to Japan. Like, they're bigger
in wrestling or in show business.
Both. Like, I hear all these stories all the time about, like, I went to Japan for my first time and got over, like, huge.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Me neither. Maybe it's because we're taller than all of them. I don't know.
Who is?
Americans. How tall do you think the tallest Japanese person is?
Well, it wasn't. We have athletes who come from Japan. They're pretty big.
Yeah.
Baseball players, basketball players.
Yeah.
They're pretty big.
I don't know. I didn't realize I was 5'9" until a couple hours ago.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there are, you know, plenty of Japanese people who are taller than me.
I'm sure there's plenty of Japanese people who are shorter than you. Can you imagine being the tallest person in the room?
I'd hate it. I'm telling you. Anytime I've encountered, like, a fully grown person who is shorter than me, it's very off-putting because it happens so rarely. So it's like, I feel like I'm doing it wrong. I feel like I made a mistake somewhere. It's weird.
Were you taller than Rhodey?
No.
No?
No, I think he was an inch or two taller than me. Because I'm 4'11".
No.
Yeah. I might be 4'10" at this point. Because I've been going down like an elevator.
You're not
going down.
You're not determined, are you?
I'm not determined. I'm determined.
I don't even know what that means.
Determined. I'm ever so slightly above determined. I'm tuned up from determined. I've been making alphabet jokes like all afternoon. Ever since you said that. I can't help myself. I'm a nerd.
You're independent.
What would I ask you?
What would you ask me? You have the opportunity to ask me anything, any time of day, any day.
What would I ask you?
What's one thing you haven't asked me yet?
I don't know, because I feel like it's a rare occasion where I actually ask you a direct question about yourself. What would I ask you? I already figured out your favorite Spice Girl. So we can skim past.
Do you know my
one.
favorite spice?
Well, it must be basil.
No.
That's a herb anyway. It's not a spice.
Herb.
Your favorite spice is I'm gonna go with red pepper.
Old Spice.
Old Spice. Old Spice. Oh, I like me some Old Spice too. I used to like the bottle it came in. No?
I've had the deodorant before, but that's about it. I don't go for Old Spice.
Oh man.
I go for whatever's available.
Right? Isn't that the Old Spice thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I miss that guy on the horse.
The Marlboro Man?
No, there used to be those Old Spice commercials with the guy on the horse. It wasn't the Marlboro Man, though.
Well, yeah, no.
What would you ask the Marlboro Man if you were here?
Pack a camel light, buddy? You'd have to have grown up in Newtown to get that reference. I mean, like, it would take me a minute to collect myself with anybody that I'd be starstruck by, but like, I'd figure stuff out. Like, I'd find stuff to ask. You know,
like the last time I was starstruck, I literally I just kept saying thank you.
I like being starstruck.
I kept saying thank you for being you and doing what you do.
I like being excited.
Well, just because you're not starstruck doesn't mean you're not excited.
I know, but like, I don't get excited as frequently as I did when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't.
Are you jaded?
Yeah.
Are you?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's tapped into your it's chipped away at your enthusiasm.
I mean, like, I'm still reluctant to approach certain people. You know, especially if I'm not like super close with them. But you know, I mean, like, I've said this a million times. Like, a lot of I've achieved a lot of my goals. You know, there's still people I want to meet. There's still things I want to do. But again, like, I was watching. When I go on TikTok, I keep seeing clips from Chris Van Vliet's interview with Gangrel. Gangrel was a wrestler who basically gave Edge and Christian their start in the late '90s because they said, you know, got paired with him. And he said something that stood out to me, where, you know, Van Vliet asked him, he's just like, you know, what do you charge nowadays or something like that? And he's just like, oh, I do the wrestling for free. I'm charging for the travel, you know? And he's going on and on about this. And I'm like, the more he talks about it, the more it resonates with me, because I'm like, you know what? I feel exactly the same way, because I would play music for free. Yeah. I would absolutely like go anywhere and perform my instrument in front of people for free and for fun and for the enjoyment of just doing it, because that's the best part about it. It's, as Gangrel said, it's getting your boots on. It's putting your gear on, getting dressed, and you know, that's the challenge. Once your stuff is on, you're ready to go. But it's getting to that point, you know, getting to that town, getting to that, you know, moment of like, okay, now I'm over the threshold. Yeah. Everything from here is just easy. But working up, not necessarily the nerve, but working up like the desire to commit. You know, because like we've talked about this. I've psyched myself out of so many auditions and so many other things that like places I've wanted to go, things I've wanted to do, because like I start to think about the pros and cons of actually doing it. Yeah. And do I really want to do these things or go to these places? Yes. But then I start thinking about everything that could go wrong, or it not living up to my internal expectations, which sucks. You know, it sucks to be dwelling on that as much as I am. Yeah. But at least for you know, let's stick with the musical endeavors for now. once like when I went to that one a couple of weeks ago, as soon as I got to that guy's house, guitar plugged in, we're ready to go. He's like, what song do you want to do? I'm like, you pick one out at random. I've got the list. I went through all of it, like anyone at random. And every time we finish one, he's like, what do you want to do next? I'm like, you pick one at random. Like, we'll do it any way you want. And then at one point I said to him, I go, give me a song that you want to do that's not in the list yet.
Oh yeah?
Anyone, just pick one out at random. And he had a hard time. I was like, no, come on. And I kept pressing him. I'm like, tell me, what's something you've really wanted to do for a long time that you haven't brought to the group yet, or they shot down, or whatever it was. Tell me right now. Let's jam out to it. And I don't remember what that was, but I'm like, I would have. Listen, if I know the key, I can fucking. I'm on.
Yeah.
You know. But that's at this point, that's the hard part, is crossing the line, is being okay crossing the line. Like yesterday, we went out riding.
Yeah.
Okay. And I've been psyching myself out about riding forever because of the accident I was in 2 years ago.
Right.
And funny enough, I said, okay, even when I get back up to it, I'm just like, I don't want to go on Danbury Road because people drive like idiots up and down there. And I felt more comfortable on Danbury Road than I did on Grove Street.
Yes.
And Grove Street is one lane, it just happens to be next to the water. And, so interviewing people to keep things in this vein is exciting. Whether it's somebody famous, whether it's somebody we know, sitting down, learning about somebody, asking, probing them on what they want to talk about, getting them to get excited to tell their story, to not hold back, to go all in.
Would you, if you had somebody to interview, would you direct the conversation or would you just let it go?
Depends on who it is. Depends on how open they are about, letting it out.
Yeah.
Because if you can tell when you're having a conversation with somebody, like, do you have to be the one doing the probing, or do you just kind of sit there and just let them go? Like, a lot of times, especially with people I know, like, a lot of times I just have to sit there and just let them go.
Yeah.
Other people, I wait for them to approach me. Some people are reluctant to approach me because of my resting bitch face, they think I'm mad all the time. It's like, I'm sorry, that's just gravity. Like, my mouth hangs downward. It's not that I am mad, but
all the time.
Not at you.
All the time.
I have perpetual resting bitch face.
I think that I would.
It hurts to smiling makes my face ache.
I think that I think I would be nervous. That's the one thing that would make me nervous is having to be prepared if necessary to direct the conversation, because it's like, I don't want to do that. I want to just let somebody fly.
Like,
spread your wing.
Coat of Arms had their 2nd anniversary this weekend.
Yes.
We went.
Yes.
Jenny was telling us about one of our, teasers popping up in her feed, and I'm like, oh my God, our friends actually listen to this.
Yeah.
And then I thought, I'm like, we should have them on. Like,
at some point,
they're our friends. They tattoo us. They have a business. They could get their, business out to our listeners.
We get their business out to our listeners every week.
Yeah, but they should come in and they should hype their business. They should talk about why they love to continue doing what they're doing, what keeps them doing it every single day. And I feel like Jenny, Eric, like, we could let them go and.
Well, you got to be careful with Joe because he will just keep going.
Joe will keep going?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind that. I have on multiple occasions been like, inching my way out the door because Joey has a tendency to just keep going.
I've been in the chair with Joe for 5, 6, 7 hours. I mean, he doesn't talk the whole time. Maybe that's me, but but then again, I could talk to Joe forever.
I think it was when they were doing their 1-year anniversary and they were being interviewed for either a blog or something like that. And each one of them was doing like a video interview and Joe was out there forever.
Joe and I have history though.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we are friends amidst this setting now as opposed to that one.
Yeah.
Because that was manufactured. That was just bullshit. That was I was in a band, he was in a different band. Everybody was competitive as far as visibility and competitions that we were, doing at that time to try and win prizes and notoriety and this and that and the other thing. And my friends were making fun of them and their friends were making fun of us. And then meanwhile, like, I think, he and I were probably the most level-headed in each band. And so, like, outside of band-related things, like, we talked and it was just like, what's up? And then he started tattooing one day, and then, like, we laugh and talk about, like, the old times and this and that, and then talk about everything else, I've got kids, he's got kids, he likes anime, I like anime,
Well, I think that if we do finally really delve into the idea of interviewing someone, I have a feeling that it will be them. I have a feeling because it's just easy. We would just go to the shop with the fucking camera and the dog and just be like, all right, talk. Be like, go for it.
Where did you no. I mean, would you start with all the standard questions? Like, how did you get your start? Who did you apprentice with? How many years have you been doing this? How many shops have you worked in?
It'd be like, give us your resume. Give us your resume, just in case. And, and just, what do you want to talk about? The same way that I ask you every single week, what do you want to talk about? I would just ask them, what do you want to talk about?
See,
Give them the opportunity to say something.
It's funny you mentioned that because there have been several occasions where I've had the idea to go up to any tattoo artist, doesn't matter who it is, and be like, what do you want to do? Offer them an open canvas.
I do that all the time.
Yeah?
All the time. I will typically have an idea of what I want with regards to getting a tattoo and the area on which I want to get it. But, like, I stopped directing tattooers years ago. Like, the first really big one, okay, that I literally I went to my dude up at Graceland and I said, you have the entire top of my thigh. I want it to be Halloween-y. I said, go for it. And he drew it up off the top of his head. He's like, this is what I came up with. And I'm like, beautiful. And I went to Eric a few months ago and I was like, I want you to blast over this giant piece on the side of my leg. And I was like, this is what I'm thinking. And he's like, I've got a better idea. And I'm like, you know what? That is a better idea. And that's exactly what he did. Like, it has been a long time since I've been like, I want this tattooed on me.
See, I still have so many of those in mind. But again, every so often I get a wild hair up my ass and I'm just like, I'd love to go to anybody and just be like, just go. Yeah.
You should. Might be very liberating. It might be. Maybe. You run the risk of being, branded with something for the rest of your life that you're just like, I wish this happened. I wish this happened. Like,
when Jenny was done with my head, I did ask her, okay, so how many dicks did you put up there? How much of a dick farm is on what? Dome?
I'll go up there tonight and see if I can connect the dots and put all the little dicks in there. I'll just connect all the little dots and just make there's one dick and there's a dick and there's a dick.
Making me a dickhead.
Yep. Dickhead.
Dick house.
Oh, and on that note, we're going to wrap this one. This was a good talk. And hopefully, we will at some point have more people to talk to.
I think
Not because we're bored with each other. I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
No, I just was trying to think outside the box because most people I know don't know how to.
Well, It came back.
No, honestly, season 4, all interviews. Season 4, all
I don't know
interviews.
That we could do all interviews.
Yeah, we totally could.
Well, you better start getting that fucking guest list together then now. Because...
Off screen here.
I'm sorry, what was that? Who exactly were you grabbing at over there?
My imaginary list.
Your imaginary list of imaginary friends?
Top 2, Andy and Fangin' It. Oh my God, did I just say that live on the air? Oh,
what? We're going to call this one before we spiral. Thank you out there for tuning in. We had a blast. Find us on social media. We're on Instagram, DT Andy and JJ Star with 2 R's. You can find him on all of the platforms, downtown_Andy, and I'm on Instagram, Jess Starable. You can also email us at dtandyanjjstar@gmail.com. with questions, comments, concerns for our well-being, conversation starters, and enders. And if you or someone you know and love might want to be a part of the conversation, we're into it. You can find me/us on OnlyFans, JJ Star with 2 R's, and find all of the after hours stuff there.
Apparently, I'm taking requests.
You're taking requests?
I put up a bunch of new videos on TikTok and Instagram yesterday, and then yeah. So if anybody wants me to noodle over some popular song, like hit me
That's
up.
pretty tight.
I like it.
That's cool.
It's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah. What else? What did I miss? Podbean. Download Podbean. Give us a like and a follow, and tell all your friends because that's how we make money. Thank you for that. Love Hard Art is going to be at the Westchester Tattoo Con in October 2nd through 4th. We will be there. Thank you to everyone who did go out to Coat of Arms' 2nd anniversary this weekend. It was so much fun. My shoulder itches. My shoulder itches. I got a tattoo, and I had a good time, and I'm very happy that I did that because I love supporting the babes there. You got anything you want to talk about?
Me?
Yeah.
I just spent the last hour talking about what I want to talk about.
Closing final thoughts?
I don't
Final
have
thoughts?
no.
No, nothing?
No, not for me.
No? All right, well then that's a full lid. I'm gonna go make sure that the house is still in order because the cat was losing her fucking mind. And
Make sure Bobby Hill didn't set the restaurant on
very
fire.
glad that she did not knock the scrim over, and that's it. That's it.
Back to King of the Hill.
Back to King of the Hill, and maybe we'll talk about that next week.
Damn it, Bobby.
That's a full lid from the 4 of us. From the 4 of us here at That Talking Podcast. I'm JJ Star.
And I'm downtown.
We'll talk to you later.